live in Dubai, which is obviously one of the same places as well in terms of networking.
Yeah.
To briefly run into your backstory, if you were to give yourself like a 90-second synopsis of who you are and what you've done, and it's a lot to condense.
Yeah, bro, pretty much just like I always been into like making money, you know, since I was young. So and I'm at the age where like I feel like I sort of was there with the physical businesses, because when I was young it was like dial-up internet and that. So I had like a point of difference with doing businesses as a kid in the physical world, you know, at the markets, all that sort of stuff. And then pretty much got into the nightclub industry, did pretty much everything in the nightclub industry, ended up started running nightclub events throughout Australia, latched onto social media early to promote the nightclub events. And then 2014 started going viral with just repurposing viral content. I was early aggregator like Unilad, Lad Bible. I had a page called Fortify, and it was just me and another mate running it, 24-hour operation, built that up. So like 2015, it was literally the biggest page in terms of reach on the platform. Like I'm talking like post a meme, get 1 million likes type thing. And man, I knew just from the nightclub industry, like, okay, where there's people walking past, you have the potential to get them in. You know, you got to just figure out the right product to sell the people. And so I tried e-commerce. I tried everything, man, everything you can think of. Links, articles, you know, oh my God, I can't believe number 5, and you got to go next. Running those websites, getting banned from Google, figuring out that you get your reach decreases and all that, and learning as I go. And just kind of like 2015, 2016, I scaled into, I got into mobile games, co-founded like 2 mobile games companies, moved to Dubai, super successful, like 250 million downloads. And then just been into crypto since 2015 as well. Last year, did an NFT project, Trillionaire Thugs, which sold out. And actually yesterday we just announced publicly that we got a deal with a big mobile games publisher, partnership with them to help us and you know, which we can expand on later with the challenges and everything with crypto. So now I'm purely focused on that. And yeah, man, like a bit longer than 90 seconds, but yeah.
Firstly, how the fuck have you done what you've done? And do you have a technology background? Like, did you study anything like coding or anything weird?
No, I'm not a technical.
So you just hustled and worked it out?
Just hustled, bro. And literally just I've always had like, but I've always loved long format interviews, you know, like I don't know, like I guess the blessed thing is, like, which was rare for people that I grew up with, was I always had an internet connection. So I was always on the internet, even if I didn't, I'd go down to the library. So I always had the internet. And so I was fortunate in that thing, because where I grew up with, I didn't know any business people. I didn't in the real world, you know, and just watching that, learning that, you know, when I'm into music as well. I actually got a music label too. Like for example, like I'll watch Jay-Z 2-hour interviews, you know, Diddy, those type of things, Elon Musk, you know, Mark Zuckerberg, just everything to do with tech. I'll look at Coca-Cola, I'll YouTube the CEO, look at all his long format interviews, because you know that's where you get the gems. You go on the Saturday Night Live, the daily shows and all that. They ask you the real generic 2-minute questions, you know, but that's why I love the long format, because there's a lot of gems that you get from that. So yeah, just learning, bro. Just always had a thirst for knowledge. And yeah.
What's the biggest challenge you've had with building these businesses?
Bro, oh damn. Honestly, just the people in the team. You know, I feel sometimes like, you know, like there's so many drop balls, but when you look at other people's stories, you see that there's never like home run. It's like it should have been a home run, but they got out on first base, you know, like so many times. And I mean, challenges is a part of it. But I couldn't say what's the biggest challenge, to be honest. It's just new challenge tomorrow will be bigger than the one last week. So
you seem to have an insane amount of like self-confidence. Is that something you've always had from like a young, like since you were a young kid, or does that come with like momentum and success?
Bro, like I always had it, you know, like even though I might not have shown it publicly, but I always had it in my head and in my heart. And I always used to be like, because I used to play rugby. I was going
to ask that.
Yeah,
I was going to ask you.
But I like I'll make some like rep teams, and then I'll see dudes that I know that I'm better than, and they got signed in that, you know, and I'm like, wow, if I just had that opportunity, I know I could kill it. And I wasn't really a hardcore player, but I'm talking about when I went to Australia. And yeah, so then like I always had that, you know, it's funny because when I was like 10 years old, I didn't even know how I even was thinking about this, but I told one of my best friends, I said, do you even know your own grandparents' story? Because really, like, I know vaguely, you know what I mean? And that's my own blood. And then do you know your great-grandparents? I don't know, I might have seen a photo or something. So I'm like, nah, I don't want that to be me with my own blood, you know, like, so I had that in my mind early, and I didn't know how to execute on that or anything, but that was just always in my mind. Even like when I'm looking back at all my tattoos, you know, like I got a Rolex tattooed on my wrist saying the time is now, you know, pain is temporary, pride is forever, pursuit of happiness, ambition. Oh no, wait, fundamentals, ambition, like looking back, I was like, yeah, everything was just, you know, before that.
Do you get those tattoos before you would achieve success?
Yeah, way before. Like, bro, I was like the guinea pig for all my boys, because, you know, like Pacific Islanders, we like tattooing's our thing, you know, so everyone kind of knows how to. Everyone knows a lot of people that do tattoos, so I was always the guinea pig. Because
did you ever think you weren't going to be successful?
Nah, man. Like I always just had it. Like, obviously, like, bro, I for sure I could have been there quicker, you know. Like I always, like, looking back, I had like entrepreneurial spurts, but I didn't have like someone super knowledgeable that saw that and actually goes, I like what you did here, try this, you know. So it was more like, because I was selling stuff, I was doing drop shipping like early at the markets, you know, like I'm talking, bro, this is like 2005, 2006. No one was doing that, but I didn't know how to scale it, you know, and I didn't have anyone like that, so it was always in little bursts, you know.
Have you had anyone like mentor or guide you along the way, or do you have anyone who helps you now?
Yeah, I did when I like got into more the nightclub thing. I had like a mentor in that, and he was super successful. And when I say successful, I'm saying like for him, he was successful, you know, like he was a promoter in a city, and he managed to get 5, 6, 7 properties from that, you know, like, which is amazing, when everyone else on his levels probably like has a year run, and you know what I mean? So yeah, that was good.
On your sort of like upward trajectory, do you look at certain people and like, that's who I want to like model, or like certain people you looked at? Obviously you mentioned like Jay-Z and other people like that. Is there anyone you looked up to, like, I want to be my own version of that, for example? I
feel like I could take a little bit from everyone, because like I'm into fitness, I'm a foodie, I'm into tech, I like fashion. So I have like different people in different things, so it's not just one person for overall, but yeah.
And have you always been quite diverse across different things, because those are very different subject matters?
Yeah, I'll say, like, if everyone's going left, I always end up going right.
And to talk about the fashion thing is a bit of a different one. Obviously, like, you got a lot of jewelry, you like to wear a lot of stuff like that. Is that something in terms of you think comes with your persona, or like to make you stand out more? Is that? I
mean, first of all, I'm into it, and I'm really into it. You know, like I know the diamond qualities. I go after the brands. I really research things before when I go heavy into it. So yeah, there's that. I'm into it, but also, yeah, I believe that for me and what I do, like I like investing in myself. You know, I like betting on myself. It all comes through mindset, bodies first. You know, and then that's your, you know, like people play games. You know, they want to get the latest skins. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to do that in real life. I am doing that in real life. So yeah.
You talk about obviously watches and jewelry. Like, what's your favorite watch? Do you have a favorite brand or anything?
No, it depends on the situation. It depends on the occasion.
Okay, daily watch and you're going out for dinner somewhere.
Just probably Richard Mille.
Okay.
Yeah, normal. If I'm going to like more like where I feel like it's a more sophisticated watch crowd, it would be like a Patek Philippe. Yeah.
And do you see watches as an investment? Do you like invest in stuff like that to like for financial gain, or is it more?
I wouldn't really say financial gain, even though it is, and people like full push it that it is an investment financially, because and that's to be honest, like, it is a bit of a misconception, because when they say, oh, this price went up that much, that's only if it's brand new. You know what I mean? As soon as you wear it, you lose value. But I feel like you have the possibility of making an investment in so many other ways. You know, like just in business and meetings, the type of social crowd that you can now get access to from you know, owning that watch and going to these events from the brands as well. So in and out of itself, it can be an investment. Do I think it is the best investment? I feel like you have to be lucky. You have to have good store history with the brand to get it at retail price, not aftermarket price. And then it can be an investment. But even then, you wouldn't want to sell it, because if they see that you sell it, they won't offer you the next watch, you know? So it's risky, bro. Yeah.
One thing you mentioned there is interesting in terms of networking. Is that one of the big things you've done to like increase your knowledge and then start to like build out more of your success?
Yeah, bro. It started in the nightclub industry. So if you think about it, like around 500, 600, 700 different people every week, and everyone's a bit drunk. You know, so the conversations flow, all that. You're meeting such a diverse crowd of people. You got the athletes, you know, that you have to look after. You got the influencers that you gotta take care of, and in return you can get favors from them from you doing stuff for them, you know, like even I'd have things in the nightclub where like a guy, right, he might own a restaurant, so he tells me come through whenever you want to the restaurant, and in return he'll message me when he's coming to the club, and he might be at the back of the line with a date, and I'm like walking down the line bringing him to the front going, bro, what are you doing? Like, you don't wait in the line, you're the man, come to the front. The girl's like looking at him like, oh damn, like come get him a drink or two, you know. Oh man, like you with him, blah 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 blah, you know, little things like that. And then I don't even know what the question was, but bro, that
in regards to like where your best ideas come from, is that often from like random conversations, say from people when you were back in the nightclub days, or like, because obviously you've done so many different avenues that are completely diverse and different fields, like where do these ideas originate from?
Bro, I feel like I've always been that dude that knows everyone from different groups, you know. Like I remember even when I used to go to the nightclub, I always have like such a diverse range of people that I would invite, because I used to travel to different states to do these events, and I'll turn up with someone who was on, you know, the Australian version of X Factor. This guy's a professional skateboarder, couple singers, this chick's got 2 million on TikTok or whatever the app was back then. So I was always like that person trying to invite different people and a diverse range of people out, and then, you know, they'll come to the hotel, pre-drinks and all that, then they'll be posting it up. So, you know, in a way I'm getting marketing for the night, but I'm doing it in a way that's for free, because I'm actually giving value to the other influencers by showing them a good night, and it's cool for them to post up. You know, it makes sense for everybody. So it's always a fair deal.
Value exchange.
Yeah, value exchange. Yeah.
In regards to like the best ideas you've had, what's the best idea you ever had, do you think?
Or to just like go all in on like digital, you know, because I did so many different other businesses, you know, clothing, for example, and you know, it's so hard because you got to do returns. This might not fit, that might fit, you know. If they dispute, the customer nearly always wins. So when I went digital and got into the mobile games industry, it was good because once you build the product, you can pretty much, it's available globally and it's for free for the user, and they make money. You make money on the ads. So, because with the success that we had in the mobile games industry, I always used to think if this was a traditional business, I'd need, you know, like a big office in New York, London, here with multiple staff, because I speak to other people that have similar sized businesses in terms of like revenue and that, and their operations are huge. So definitely digital for me.
How many different businesses have you had over the years?
Bro, a lot. Yeah, a lot. In so many different industries too. A lot.
And has it been a challenge to like close some of those down if they didn't work? Like, was that a difficult process? And like,
for me, I always look at stuff as like how much energy I'm putting into to how much the potential is. And that's why even with when I go back to the nightclub stuff, I always knew the ceiling, you know, capacity wise, this nightclub's only legally allowed to hold X amount of people. If it rains, it's 25% less no matter what, because and that's something that you didn't even do. So I always knew that I always seen what was like the cap, and then I always think of something like, okay, what's the next step? What's the next step? What's the next step?
What do you think is the next big thing then?
Well, I'm all in on building in blockchain and that now, and I believe that the next like crypto wave will come through from the gaming industry. Gaming will onboard with the NFT technology, you know, like being able to own the actual characters and to sell it, because you see the amount of money that Fortnite has in that purchases, but it's only able to stay in that ecosystem. So yeah, I believe gaming for me is going to potentially be the next catalyst for the wave, the next run.
When do you think the next bull run of crypto is going to come back?
Well, like historically, they always say that it's after the Bitcoin halving.
Yeah.
So 2024, and then even last year, that was in 2020, and it didn't really start to another like 6 months, you know. So, well, right now we're like 12 months, because last November was the
peak.
The peak. So it's 12 months, and in the last cycle, it was 12 months till it hit the bottom as well of in 2018. So I think now maybe in the next few months we'll find a bottom, and I don't know what the price will be, and then it will start, in my opinion, it will start going up again. But it depends on a lot of factors, you know, like with the situation in Russia and Ukraine, and then also the inflation, and also all that stuff from the money printing in 2021. So yeah.
What's your opinion on the situation with inflation, how that should be like how people maybe should try and handle that from a business point of view? Obviously, with a recession coming, like people getting squeezed.
I think the main advice is like find cash flow, find a way to generate cash flow. You know, I know a lot of people went all in 2021 because we hadn't really experienced a drop since 2008. So I'm talking about in stocks, not in crypto, but so a lot of people, they only ever seen the good times, you know? Yeah. So, sorry, what was the question?
How should people handle like the recession?
Yeah,
and
bro,
like,
you gotta find out how to generate cash flow. You know, the cash flow is the most important thing. You don't want to sell a distressed asset for too cheap, and you don't want to be forced to do that. So you should always make sure you have enough cash flow to maintain your lifestyle before you, at least like, well, it depends what situation you're at, you know? For me, I always make sure I got not a big, but like
enough
millions. Yeah. I need to maintain my lifestyle for life, you know? Yeah. I always make sure that that's covered and to keep generating cash flow. That's the main thing.
What's the main thing you invest in now?
Bro, myself. Yeah, all in on myself and also the blockchain game. So we sold out the NFT collection, and all of that money we generated from the mint is going back into the product. So for us, it wasn't like a money making thing because I already had enough from everything else that I already did. But I did this to kind of enter into what I believe is going to be the next run. So from selling out the NFT collection, we were able to get, you know, knock on doors that we probably couldn't have knocked on before, and they open up, you know, when we're talking about this space. So yeah, we just signed like a publishing deal with a big publishing company, and that's going to give us like a lot of help, you know, to make sure that we can last long term. Because I don't want to do like I don't want to do like a tokenomics that's like, you know, one of those ones that's pump and dump, you know,
flash in the pan.
Yeah, it has to, like, I want to do something that actually it can maintain, it can go at scale and not just fall over itself. So that's the main focus.
Obviously, you've been hugely successful. What's the big thing that drives you to keep pushing? Is it like anything specific, or is it just the love of the fucking game in the process?
Bro, like I you know, like I can't remember who said this, but it's like once you get rich, you think you're killing it, you know, when you come from that, but then you get introduced to wealthy. You know what I mean? You meet wealthy and you're like, bro, I ain't shit. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what's so good about coming to Dubai, you know, because I feel like in a lot of other countries, especially like in Australia and that, don't get me wrong, there's billionaires there, but they might be like third, fourth generation. They own like the plastics industry in Australia or something. So it's very rare to find self-made, like super successful. Whereas in Dubai, it's like when you become that, you kind of move to Dubai. So to be around it, to see it, to see the levels, it just keeps you going, you know.
Have you got an example of like maybe when you first came here, you met someone, you're like, fuck, I need to work harder?
Yeah. Bro, like I bought, for one example, I bought these like love heart earrings. That was at Dubai Mall. I was like walking past the store, like it was at the front for like 6 months. And it was a shop called Marwood or something. I don't know if I spelled it wrong. Anyway, if I said it incorrect. Anyway, I went in just one day. I just bought it, right? And then the lady's like, "Oh, you should meet the owner." So I'm like, "Oh, cool." I went back the next day, met him. He's like third generation of this business. And then the stuff that he knows, the stuff that he was telling me, I'm like, damn, like there's really like third generation. Like it makes you think longer than just you being good, you know? Like you really think like I can, like my last name can keep going. And I read stories of like Patek. The same thing, you know, still family-owned business, super strong company. Yeah, and I remember also meeting this one. I didn't meet her, but like when I first came to Dubai, it's like she must have been like Russian or something, you know. And she pulled out. I was just at the store. She pulls out the gold card. She's just all the braid. I'm like, whoa, fuck. That was my first taste, you know. Like I was like, damn, like yeah, I was tripping.
Who's the most impressive person you've ever met?
Damn, met in real life.
Or someone you've met and you've been like, that's fucking super inspiring.
Bro, pretty much everyone. Like I wouldn't say there's someone that's like that I can even think of that's like well and beyond everyone else. Like for me, I literally look at everyone that's like figured out how to be their own boss, or not even their own boss, but figure out how to monetize what they love. And bro, for me, like that's literally enough. Like I love seeing that because I always get tips and I always get like a lot of knowledge from everyone. Yeah,
That's awesome. And you coming to Dubai, how long have you lived here for now, you say?
Or 2016, I came here.
It's a little while. What would you say, do you think it really shifted your mindset moving here in terms of like, say for example, me moving here at the start of the year, the UK is very small-minded in terms of the way it works, and like it's quite easy to be a big fish in a small pond.
Yeah.
Whereas like...
But that's crazy that you say that about England, because like it's such a bigger, so much more money than, so think about Australia and then even think about New Zealand. Being so isolated as well, you know, like super isolated and nothing around. So yeah.
Do you find that that's like, did that change you in a lot of aspects in terms of your drive and your work
for
ethic?
Sure, bro, for sure. Like just seeing like, because like also like I love, I'm like a foodie, like man, every
preaching
time,
to converted. I love it.
Every time I go anywhere, like I'm on Google Maps, like looking at the street food. I always try to go like one of the Michelin ones and all that, and that's what I love about Dubai, you know. So even I always tell everyone, Dubai has the best of the best. Whenever there's a popping thing in London, Monaco, whatever, always the first stops usually Dubai, you know, for the international thing. So like the scenes out here for that is amazing. So like I always look at it, but I always look at everything with like why does that work? How does that work? Why is it this not working? Everywhere I go, like I'm as soon as I walk into like Namas, for example, I'm looking at how much like average spenders per table. I'm looking at this table, most of the tables are drinking like the bottles. That's like, then I'm looking at the food. I'm like, then it's all day, you know, like I'm really thinking about these things everywhere I go.
When you open a restaurant then?
I actually had a burger shop in Australia, and I actually took it I had percentages in it, and I took it from conception to like it got voted the #1 burger shop in the town in like 6 months, just through social media marketing, and also the product was good. And then, but yeah, I don't know, like food's a flex, but it's more like it's really got to be your passion as a business. Like I would do it, but it wouldn't be for money, you know. It's like a flex to take people and say you own this cool restaurant.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of hard work owning a restaurant.
Yeah, and food is hard because you have to be so exact with wastage. You know, you can't have too little and you can't have too much. So it's a difficult balance.
What's your favorite restaurant in Dubai?
It depends what. Like, my favorites. Like
you can go to one restaurant tonight. Where are you going?
But it depends who I'm going with. If I'm going with a girl, if it's purely for the food, probably be like Takahisa, which is in Caesars. It's actually one of my mates' restaurants. It's super high end. Like they go to the Tokyo seafood markets and they get the #1 auction, and it flies straight in on like Emirates business class. It's at Caesars Palace. If it's like all DIFC restaurants is super good for the food and the vibes. Yeah, there's a lot.
What would you say in terms of you coming here, in terms of cultural changes? Was that a big difference to you? Obviously, like moving to a Muslim country, like I think Dubai's changed over the last few years, but was that a bit of a shock?
Yeah, so when I first came, I remember 2016, I think in Ramadan, like it was strict if you had a bottle of water, like people were really looking at you. And also like, I don't even think that there was partitions. I think it was just closed. Like I'm talking about all the like restaurants with alcohol. And then even just, I think Ramadan was the main thing that you see, the changes each year, because even last year they said no curtains, no partitions, just show respect, you know, like, so. And living on the Palm too, it's like, it's kind of touristy, so I don't really.
It'd be interesting to get your opinion on this. So in my opinion, I think Western economies are starting to go off a cliff a bit, and like the Middle East is starting to rise. Yeah. Do you have much of an input on that?
Yeah, that's what I love about Dubai, is like, because it's not like you don't have to go through a million different people voting, and I guess it's just, if it makes sense, it's implemented tomorrow. You know, you wake up and this change is happened. And also I noticed a lot, like the conflict in Russia and Ukraine, I noticed that Dubai benefited a lot because a lot of the Western countries, we can talk about this.
100%.
I think a lot of the Western countries, they took the assets off a lot of the...
like Russians aren't allowed into the countries.
Which is...
It's not the Russian people's fault.
Yeah. So I seen that Dubai benefited a lot from because where I live, it's pretty much all Russians now. And also the yield in Europe is like, it was like negative in Germany, and then to come here, invest in real estate and get quite a good yield. I noticed that a lot of people do that, and you notice like even for example like Andrew Tate, right? I seen he just came to Dubai, and he couldn't speak highly enough about it. You see Dana White when he speaks about Abu Dhabi and the UFC with Fight Island, when every other country and every other region was like, no, we can't touch this. And I love that attitude. You know, it's not like we can't do it. It's like, don't tell me the problem. Tell me how you figured it out. You know, that's what I always try to tell my team. Like, don't come at me with the problem. Tell me how you figured it out. And I believe that's this region here.
It's forward thinking. That's what I find is frustrating. Even like the UK, for example, it takes them like 10 years to work out how to put in a new road system. It's like 6 months they finished it, and it's just they just execute.
Yeah, and I also noticed too, like each development right in Dubai, they always have a big like the marketing landmark. This is the biggest whale in the world. This is the tallest building in the world.
No fucking around here.
And it's literally, I think that these things don't even break even ever. Like the Burj Al Arab, they said that will never, as a business itself, I watched some documentary or something saying it will never break even. But the marketing for Dubai overall is priceless. Look at the Burj Khalifa. Every time there's something that happens in the world and they do the flag of the country or something, that goes globally viral. Even if it goes viral in the country that, the Burj Khalifa just like we stand with whatever trending. You know what I mean? Like this week, that goes viral. So yeah, it's super smart because it's exactly what I do on a much bigger scale. It's trying to figure out how to get free traffic. You know what I mean? Like that's the way that you scale businesses, and that's the way that you make the most money is by figuring out how to get free traffic.
Why do you think no other countries cottoned onto this sort of approach? Because I don't really see anywhere else.
I think Dubai was kind of like a blank canvas to start with, maybe.
Yeah.
Whereas other countries already had road systems, things, and so I think maybe that could have. I know the geographical location of it helps a lot, being like, first of all, a hub like Singapore is with Asia. So from there you have a good foundation to start, you know? Yeah, just I guess it all comes down to the leaders as well.
If you weren't going to live in Dubai, where would you live?
But I think like every place I go to, I'm like, yeah, I love it here. But after 2 months, I always...
Yeah.
Are you the same?
Yeah. Do you stay here in the summer?
No.
Where do you go in the summer?
Just wherever. But this year I went Asia.
Yeah. So like whenever I leave... After about 3 weeks, I start to get irritated by things not working very well.
Yeah.
And as soon as I get back to Dubai, I'm thank fuck. Like everything, you land at the airport and I'm home within 30 minutes. Everything just works.
Yeah,
right?
You just walk straight out. Like everything's super convenient.
Yeah.
And I love over here, they have always a VIP option.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and what I don't understand here is almost like you said, that if you always ask someone for something, they'll find a way to fix whatever problem you've got, even in like a hotel or a restaurant. Whereas like if you go to Spain, for example, and you're like, I don't want X on the menu, they're like, that is what it is.
Yeah. Well, we can't do that.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you can.
But why?
But if I gave you $1,000, you would figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, so just figure it out. Yeah.
And in terms of like figure it out, it's something interesting you mentioned. If you always had like that figure it out mentality, because you seem very analytical with even like you talk about Namos and the restaurants and seeing like that.
Yeah.
You almost like that's the way you see the world.
Yeah. That's the way I see the world. Everything for me is marketing. Everything for me is business. Everything for me, like everything, you know, even I was thinking about, I was thinking about this, like a lot of people, they have their argue points of the hot topic of the month, right? And then they're saying, yeah, but this study agrees with me. I don't stop there, you know what I mean? I said, okay, who's the study by? How many people was in the study? And then because when you really look closer, you see, hold up, this study is talking against the plant-based industry, but it's from a meat company study. And the study was 200 people. So you know what I mean? Like, and then they say, yeah, and 70% of Americans don't like, but it's not until you dig deeper that you really get the facts. So I never I never just listen to one person's opinion, because at the end of the day, I don't agree with everything that anyone says. You know what I mean? So, and no one should. So yeah, like I always ask, why does this person benefit from having this point of view? Why do they have that point of view? And at the end of the day, even if you have a different point of view, like, it's all good.
I think it's one of those things people lack. It's a critical thinking. I think people are too used to being spoon-fed by the government a lot of the time, and they just take the medicine or whatever they tell them to take.
Yeah, bro. That's crazy. And you notice it now, like with that cancel culture and that. It's crazy. Like if you don't agree with the masses, the
status quo.
Yeah, it's literally crazy. Like you get cancelled.
I was going to say that too. Well, what's your opinion? Obviously, what happened with the Andrew Tate scenario in terms of like them basically trying to wipe him off the face of the earth?
Well, I think like if you weigh up the positive and the negatives, this is my belief. I believe that he's helped more people than are angry at him, and the people that are angry at him, they just kind of got their opinion based on like the little viral clips.
Snippets are taken out of context.
Snippets with this author's like, okay, this is my agenda, and here's my snippet to prove what I said is correct. Man, I love a lot of his talking points. Do I agree with everything he said? No, I don't agree with everything that anyone says. But yeah, man, I actually just break down the business of the guy, you know? I'm like, okay, cool. So he's saying all these things. He's getting all these people to cut up his long format content into these things.
It's fucking genius.
He's got the Hustlers. He had the Hustlers thing, and I'm working it out. He's making like 4 or 5 mil a month from that. And he's just going on as many podcasts as he can, talk with talking points that he knows is going to go viral, because they're viral talking points. Yeah. And then he's got the Hustlers University to go alongside it. So to be honest, I don't really look at, I just look at if it works, then it's good. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, I think it's a slightly unfair approach that's happened. What's your opinion in terms of like there being a higher power that sort of like orchestrates some of this stuff? Because from what it sounds like, it's almost like it was very synchronized, like all these things were pulled in the same time.
I feel like some people really go down the rabbit hole, but when you actually make money on social media, you know that it's not like some like dark room where everyone's like, okay, that can be used as like just a metaphor, but no, it's not like that at all. It's literally the way you're making your money, right? So if you're using social media to make money from, because I'll talk about the Steve Will Do It thing, because he was saying that he got banned from his reason was that he was talking about the Andrew Tate stuff, but actually it's because of he's on stake.com talking about crypto betting and all that, and because he's the biggest, they'll just take you down, you know what I mean? And actually in the terms and services, I've been around since 2014, so I've seen like algorithm switches, your reach decrease. Okay, now you got no reach at all. Now you got to pay for what you had before for free. So it's literally that. If you're siphoning traffic away from these social media platforms and they're not monetizing it, because you even think all of Steve Will Do It's YouTube videos, he was unable to monetize them. So really, what benefit is YouTube even getting from this relationship? They're providing him the platform to upload his content, and he's making money. He can't monetize it, so they're not making money from it, and he's making money from stake.com. So
how do you think social media is going to change in the future? Obviously you mentioned reach is dropping on all of them. Do you think it's going to be like a pay to play sort of situation on all of them?
So you see now with Meta, like since Apple did that change, yeah, the advertising's completely changed. It's you can't target an audience as specifically as you could. You don't have access to the data that allows you to really convert a customer cheap anymore. So a lot of the things that was small margins, 5-10%, it's doesn't work anymore. So TikTok now, they're super smart. They've just announced that they're building warehouse facilities, kind of like, see, because if you think about it, Amazon never captured social media and Facebook never captured like e-commerce. So if they're doing fulfillment centers, because you see most of the think about all the data that TikTok has, right? And so many like e-com videos go viral on things. So now they're setting up
click a bite in the video.
Exactly. And they're doing the distribution centers. So like I said, I feel like all of them, they give you unlimited reach. So you're on the platform, you're invested heavily in the platform. You've spent so many hours building your audience up, and even a lot of the times you have your main income is derived from social media. So you're too invested in the thing. So of course you're going to start paying, because they're actually at the start, all they care about is the users. And then they worry about, now how can we make money? So I just believe that there's going to be a new one that comes around, and to be honest, like, it's always good to at least get your username and even think of a few other usernames that you can get. Like for example, for me, I'd get some food usernames and all that. Just, I don't know, it's free, it's cheap, and you never know.
Is there any new platforms you know are coming out? I know Rumble's a big one, obviously. Andrew Tate's gone too.
Yeah,
I just set up a channel on that.
Yeah. You on there?
Yeah. We start putting all our YouTube videos on there as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know someone who's actually invested big in Rumble. Yeah, there's that. To be honest, bro, like, I think I still stay on Facebook. I still know people that's making so much money on Facebook. Facebook's such a hard beast to master as a business owner, because it's so different to other platforms. But once you know it, it's pretty good.
Do you think that the future of social media is going to keep on growing? The more people are going to keep getting more and more sort of pulled into the matrix of it. Yeah. Do you think virtual reality will start to come more of social media?
Yeah, I think, man. Obviously, all these plays for me is like long term. Even Meta, like. Well, it's crazy how in he is, you know, like Mark Zuckerberg is on Metaverse, because I don't know, realistically, it's probably still 10, 15, 20 years away, you know. It's such a big long-term play, and you've seen his stock price just drop. So
where do you get all your latest information in terms of things that are going on? Like you mentioned obviously about TikTok and stuff like that. How do you stay connected with so much going on with like your finger in so many different pies at the same time?
Yeah, just I'm always listening to podcasts, the right ones. I'm always listening to the interviews, and then most of my friends in my network is all like, they have shows on TikTok, they're killing it on Facebook, they're doing this on YouTube, they're on Rumble, Twitch, all that. So just staying connected with people, and I always tell them about what I'm doing, and I don't have no fear of telling them everything that I'm doing. And a lot of people see that and tell me what they're doing as well, and I like to help people. And you know, a lot of people, they're so guarded with what they're doing, but I feel like if you talk to anyone successful, they already got their 3-year, 4-year, 5-year plan. Like they're already set up. They're not going to just go pivot to do your idea, you know? So it's you know what I mean? So
yeah, 100%.
I have no qualms about telling people what I'm doing and all that. And for a lot of people, they see that and then they tell me what they're doing. And we're just, I feel like iron sharpens iron. So it's better to be honest and have people that you can trust and talk about these things with.
That's a sick saying. And interestingly, I found in the UK, people were very guarded about telling you what they do. But I don't know if you found the same thing in Australia, but coming here, everyone's like, it's like an open book. Like, what do you want to know?
Yeah.
How can I help
you? You've been to Australia?
Yeah, no. I work with some Australian companies, but like living in the UK, I imagine Australia is very much the same.
Yeah.
Everyone's very closed and guarded, whereas here it's like an open book.
I haven't noticed that. I haven't noticed that here, but in Australia and UK, everyone's so
protective.
I think because no, it's very rare to see people with the bigger vision of saying, let's work together and we all eat, because I always had that mindset, even just being with my boys back in the days. I said, if only one of us is up, and when I'm talking up back then, I'm talking like you might have like a rugby contract or something, like something like that. But if only one of us is up and everyone's down here, then if this guy falls, you can't do anything. But if everyone's up, this guy falls down, it's so easy to pick them back up. So I always had that mentality. I always had that thing, and I noticed that people that don't have that, they might have their little run, they might get lucky once, but they never sustain it, because when they're at the top, they're arrogant. They think that this is the new normal, but everything's like little waves, And I've been around so long that it's like they say, look at Kanye West just getting completely cancelled. What's that saying? Like you live long enough, you turn into the villain,
you get villainized eventually. You go from the hero to the villain everyone hates.
Yeah, like if you last, and it's totally true. But even other people, man, they have their little run. They went on a reality show. They got 100,000 followers from being on that reality show, 200,000, but actually they didn't do anything to get that following. They just literally went on a reality show. And so a lot of the times they don't analyze how they got that following and analyze how do I keep that following engaged, because it's if they follow you from a TV show, it's like they're going to follow the next person that looks like you in the next season. So you can keep them, but you have to know how to keep them and how to stay engaged.
I don't know if you see the same thing in, for example, a slightly different aspect. So I see people, for example, in crypto, young guys made like, I don't know, make 5 million on like fucking out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then they send their cryptos tanked and then they've lost a load of money. They're then fucked because they're used to having loads of money and they don't have the skills to actually make the money in the first place because it was on a bit of a luck, really.
Lucky.
Like, do you see that that's happened quite a lot to a lot of people, particularly
here? I
see
see that so many times, bro. Like when I first started making money on social media, there was young guys like 17, 18 making 200, 300,000 a month, traveling the world, spending that much, like just thinking, like I said, they thought that this was the new normal. It's not. When you really get lucky, and I'm saying luck as in like, obviously you prepared for it, but when you're in the hot moment and that's when you triple down and work. That's not when you go chill on the weekends. Like you do that after the work's done, like they say you milk the cow. Okay, I'm gonna milk the cow till the cow's milked. Then I'm gonna cut everything up, cut the wagyu, cut the thing. I'm gonna even keep the skin and I'm gonna make some leather bags and, everything. I'm gonna make pet food with the hoofs. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not just gonna milk the cow. Yeah, so I feel like people just, I don't know, like, and because on social media or in general, like no one really knows how much you could have made, So once they get to a level where, oh yeah, this is cool. I never thought I'd make this. Then they chill. But honestly, like social media, like, they say data is the new oil, right? And all these influences, you have such a small amount of time to really capitalize on that, because the next thing comes, the next thing happens. It's super hard to keep. I'll say in an influencer's journey, right? If you're gonna have longevity, you would have had to adapt and pivot and change your whole approach and your whole thing like multiple times in just a year. Just to survive a year, you had to switch up multiple times. And even take like Logan Paul, the Vine guy, doing the splits around the world, to to the YouTube stuff, got cancelled, like hated on, came back with the boxing, pretty much made that a thing, the influencer boxing thing, and so when you see so people that have success, longevity in this space, bro, kudos, man, because it's super hard.
Next question for you is, how have you sustained your success for so long and stayed humble and not kicked back, relaxed, or lost it with that?
Humble, yeah, but I'm super respectful. I think it's my culture. First and foremost, it's like a culture thing. And then also like I said, bro, like I don't take it too serious, I'm chill. I used to be that dude that did the worst job, that no one looked at and said, this guy's going to be something, even though I always knew it. So I've been in every different positions. So, man, I also have the understanding and the thing that where you are right now that doesn't mean that that's where you're gonna be, and that doesn't define you. Just like someone who's on top, that you're not gonna always be on top. You know, you come down a bit, you go up. As much as you go up, you're gonna come down. That's the way I see it, bro. As much as you're down, you can go up.
Do you ever fear falling down?
At the time, yeah, of course. But once you get through it and you look back, you go, man, that was so, I needed that.
Teaches you a lesson.
Yeah,
right?
It was so beneficial, because actually it's up to you if you want to, if it's a loss or it's a lesson. That's on you. And for me, I always use it as a lesson, and I always just keep. But I just think that until I stop breathing, my potential is here. I always try to tell that to everyone as well, and everyone I'm around. Like, I always try to be like that dude.
One final question to finish up. What advice would you give to yourself at 18 years old?
All right, I'll just say, just keep going, bro. Keep going, you know? Don't give up. Like, even your own family members, they won't understand what you're doing. They'll think like, why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? That's not normal. Yeah, don't be normal. You know what I mean? Be you.
Fuck normal, yeah.
Yeah, be you. If you's not normal, then why would you be something that's not you? Be you. And I even posted this yesterday. I said, one of the worst things you can do is listen to somebody else telling you how to do you. You know what I mean? So, and that's different from getting advice from people that you respect. Advice, but don't let someone tell you how to do you. That's it.
Love that. Thank you for your time today, Sam. That was a blast. If anyone to find out more about you, connect with your social media or anything else to check more about you, where's the best place to connect?
Yeah, bro, just probably Instagram.
Yeah, I'll share that in the show notes below.
Yep.
Thank you everyone for listening out and listening to the episode. If you make sure you leave us a 5-star review, subscribe, comment below any questions. You're watching us on YouTube, and see you next episode very soon.